Okay, here's your homework help for homework number 23. For Monday, it says Mr. Riggs is building a deck in his backyard. The deck will be 16 feet long and 8 feet wide. How can Mr. Riggs determine the perimeter of the deck? Step 1 needs to be to draw a picture. So he's building a rectangular deck that's going to be 16 by 8, I'm sorry. To find perimeter, that's like building a fence around something, right? So he's building a deck, but he only wants to know the perimeter, the outside of it, okay? So I'm going to label my other sides 16 and 8. So to find perimeter, I have to add all the sides, okay? Some of us are still just adding 2 sides, but it's not just adding 2 sides, so it can't be A. B would be length times width, which gives us area, not perimeter, so it can't be B. 16 times 2 would only give us half of the problem, so it can't be that. Our correct answer is D. If we add up all the sides, if we did 16 plus 8 and did that 2 times, that would give us our perimeter. Next, Ava plays tennis on Monday for 4 and 3/4 hours. She plays tennis on Tuesday for 2 hours. She plays tennis again on Wednesday for 3 1/5 hours. How much longer did Ava play tennis on Monday than Wednesday? So look here, we don't even need to know Tuesday. It just says Monday, then Wednesday. Okay, so Monday she plays 4 3/4 hours, and I want to know how much longer that is than 3 1/5 hours. So step 1 is for us to make a ratio table. So I'm going to come over here, and I have to start with my fraction that has the lower denominator, so that's 3/4, even though that's a greater number. Okay, so I'm going to do times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. 3 times 2 is 6, times 3 is 9, times 4 is 12, times 5 is 15. For 4, 4 times 2 is 8, times 3 is 12, times 4 is 16, and times 5 is 20. So now I'm going to make my ratio table for 1/5. If I do times 2, that gives me 2/10. Do I have a denominator match? No. Times 3 gives us 3/15. Do I have a denominator match? No. If I do times 4, that gives me 4/20. Okay, now I have a denominator match. So I rewrite my problem, 4 15/20 minus 3 4/20. So we're going to start by subtracting our whole numbers. 4 minus 3 is 1. Let me backtrack for a second. The reason I don't have to do this one on the number line is 15 is greater than 4. Okay, so we can just subtract this. 4 minus 3 is 1. 15 minus 4 is what? Sorry, I just messed up. Okay, 15 minus 4 is 11. So 11/20, because our denominator never changes. So 1 11/20 hours. Next, what is the volume of the rectangular prism below? Well, we have been practicing this in class. It's your Ed puzzle. Okay, we have volume equals length times width times height. That's how we find our volume. So let's start by finding our dimensions. Our length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 3. Okay, and our height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have our length times width times height. 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 times 6. Okay, 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 4 more is 16. So 162 cubic units. Okay, I did put a vocabulary question in here because we kind of struggled with some vocabulary on a question on our benchmark. It says a coordinate plane is made of two intersecting lines. So intersecting, right? It's like this. It's where they cross. There's our intersection. The place where the two lines cross, so if I draw it like our single quadrant coordinate grid, this would be where it crosses. So what is that called? If you need more help with that problem, let me know in class. I'd like to see that you know that one. A store sells cough drops in bags of 48. If each cough drop weighs 3 2/25 grams, what is the full weight of a bag of cough drops? Okay, so they're saying one cough drop weighs 3 2/25 grams, and there are 48 of those. So you're going to do 3 2/25 times 48. If you need an area model, you may set it up this way. Okay, and then just remember to go back and put in your decimal. Let me know if you need any more help with that problem. Okay, Zach lives 5.5 miles away from work. After biking 2 1/3 miles, how many more miles must he still bike to reach his workplace? Okay, so he has to go a total of 5.5 miles. He's already gone 2 1/3 miles. They want to know how much is left to go. What is the difference? Okay, so let's come over here and make our ratio table for 1/2 because 2 is the lower denominator. If we do times 2, we get 2/4. If we do times 3, we get 3/6. You could keep going to 5, but I know if I come over here and do times 2, I will get 2/6, so I have a match. So when we rewrite our problem, we have 5 3/6 minus 2 2/6. So here's another problem where if you would like to use your number line, you can, but you don't have to because 3 is greater than 2. Our numerator in the larger place is greater than the numerator in the smaller digit. So I can do 5 minus 2 gives me 3. 3 minus 2 gives me 1, and my denominator does not change. Okay? The dot plot below shows the number of food trays counted in the cafeteria. How many students counted at least 50, but no more than 80 food trays? So we are looking at all the dots here. Okay, so each dot is representing one student. So I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 students. Okay, next. Colby has 1/3 of a pie left over from dinner last night. She wants to give the leftovers to 3 of her friends. What fraction of the original pie will each friend get? We are taking 1/3 of a pie and we're dividing it into 3 pieces for each friend. Okay, so I made my whole number look like a fraction. I'm going to label KCF, and we're going to keep it, change it, flip it over, multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9 for an answer of C. Okay, next, Joe has a cube-shaped box. What did we say in class today? A cube. Each face is a square, which means each side is the same. He wants to determine the volume of the box. What is the volume of the what is the volume in cubic units of Joe's box? So I know that each side is 6. To find volume, we do length times width times height. So my problem is going to be 6 times 6 times 6, very similar to one we did in class today. So 6 times 6 gives me 36. Now I need to do 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 more is 21. Okay. And last, Dorina used 1 centimeter cubes to build a rectangular prism. Okay, so a rectangular prism is like our tissue box. Right? She used 28 cubes to make the bottom layer. So our base. 28 cubes to make the base. She made the prism 3 layers high. So she did the area of the base. So we're looking for volume here, sorry. And she did the area of the base, that's our length times width, right? Right here. So area of the base times the height, which is 3. So you need to do 28 times 3. If you need that in an area model, you may do 20 plus 8 times 3. Next. Mitch used counters to model the product of 2/3 and 18. What is the product of 2/3 and 18? Okay, so you know how to multiply 2/3 times 18, or you can use your model right here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Last problem for the week. Naomi bought 3 5/100 pounds of onions, 5 8/10 pounds of potatoes, 3 3/10 pounds of carrots, and 2 3/5 pounds of cabbage to make a stew. What is the total weight of the 4 vegetables? Do not try and add all of these up at once. Let's start with 2 numbers at a time. 3 5/100 plus 5 8/10. Make sure you line them up correctly. Okay, so I used those. Now let's add the next one. Okay, now I want you to do the final step. 2 35/100 plus 12 15/100. Let me know if you need any more help. Bye.